Hello, everybody. Welcome to my shack. My name is Chris. And have you ever wished you could relive a moment in your life? Well, today we're going to talk about that. I have a few examples with me, but if you'd like to share with me some moments you'd like to relive, tell me down in the comments section and I'll be sure to read it. Yep. So, my first example is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. This is a game I really love. My friend and I used to play it all the time. But first, I gotta read this. So, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations is developed by CyberConnect 2, published by Namco Bandai Games. It is based on the Naruto manga series by Masashi Kishimoto. The GOAT! First revealed in June 2011, it was first released in Japan on February 23rd, 2012, on the PlayStation and Xbox 360 consoles, and on March 13th in North America, in Europe on March 30, and Australia on March 29th, 2012. The story covers both Part 1 and Part 2 from the series, respectively, featuring the younger and older incarnations from the series characters. The role playing and elements from Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm story mode were removed in favor of consecutive battles, thus reducing the time spent during the battle mode. Although it may mainly focus on Naruto Uzumaki's adventures based on the series, it features new side stories led by others supporting characters that expand their backgrounds. So, okay, what they mean by that is that, it mainly follows Naruto, but you can play the story from other characters' perspective. It's not as long, but it is interesting and a nice feature in my opinion. What they removed is the open world, kinda. Let me explain. So in Naruto Storm 1, you could roam around Konoha doing side quests and stuff. But in Storm 2, that openness became a bit more linear. So you weren't walking around anywhere and everywhere. But when it came to Generations, you literally go from battle to battle, no walking around. If you want more detail, I'm sure there's like tons of YouTube videos going over that. I'm just simplifying it. In fact, let's even talk about the story mode. So, in the story mode, there are tons of characters you can play as in these games, but the ones I was referring to are Kid Naruto, Teen Naruto, Teen Sasuke, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Minato, Gaara, Obito, Itachi, Killer Bee, and finally Haku and Zabuza. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's so important about these characters? And to save you from spoilers, I say just watch the show or play the games. And if you're asking yourself, which game should I play? I recommend Naruto Storm 4 or Connections. Either way works. But the fanbase seems to like Storm 4 over Connections. This is a game that I really enjoyed playing. In fact, I remember school had just ended and I was really looking forward to going home. Usually I walk home with my friends since, we live in the same neighborhood. Let's call him Zach. Zach told me that he had this really cool game from a friend, of his. Me being excited to play on his PS3, I was obviously hyped. He told me if we ever come across one of his friends, I shouldn't bring it up at all so that, we could have it all to ourselves. And I was like, bet, sign me up. And tell me why. My dumbass, as soon as we came across one of his friends, the game was the first thing I yapped about. He nudged me, and luckily I think his friend didn't hear me since I hadn't been talking for too long. So we soon got to Zach's house, and for some reason he had like stuff to do. So I was just in his living room playing through the story, and I didn't have to wait for long because it seemed like the game was already installed. So I was locked in, bro. In fact, this reminds me of this one time. I was playing as Kid Kiba, and he was playing as someone else. I forgot who, and I completely whooped his ass. I cooked this man like I was Sanji, man. Like I was Black Leg Sanji. I cooked this man. And so the next match, we had like a team match, and he returned the favor tenfold. He rubbed it in my face by finishing me off with like one of those team ultimates where like all the characters you chose are actually in that cinematic, you know. Yeah, but I was just really happy to see him, you know, happy. And I think the characters he had chose were like the Raikage and Tsunade. I don't remember who was the other person. It could have been them. I only remember the Raikage because like he did this like lightning style, so maybe Darui was involved. Yeah. Side note, like every other Naruto fan, I thought Lee and Guy were related. Like, come on, look at how similar they look and fight. But yeah, this game was literally my first real console experience. Unless I'm forgetting something. I forgot to mention that this was my literal introduction to Naruto. And luckily, it was airing at the time. Which brings me to number 2! I remember days coming back home from school to watch Naruto. It was the best. But on some days, I wasn't able to arrive home on time for many reasons. So I haven't seen all the episodes, just most of them. And sadly, at the time, I hadn't watched OG Naruto, but it didn't really matter since I'd already played the game. Before you rage, I recently went back to watch OG Naruto, and it was great. I enjoyed it, and I plan on rewatching Naruto Shippuden because, like I said, I already watched most of Naruto, but like I'm missing a lot of context. I've seen most of the episodes, so I know how we get from point A to point B. I just like want to be in the moment with the show. Yeah. For those trying to get into Naruto, beware of the filler. There's a lot of that in both shows, but there are websites to help you with that. Why would I need a website, I hear you ask? It's because Naruto does this weird thing where some episodes are like mixed canon, whereby there will be bits and pieces that are canon, and while most of that episode is filler. Naruto is a Japanese anime television series based on Masashi Kishimoto's manga series of the same name. The story follows Naruto Uzumaki, a young ninja who seeks recognition from his peers and dreams of becoming the Hokage, the leader of his village. The anime series is divided into 2 separate parts. The first series retains the original manga's title and is set in Naruto's preteen years. The second series, a direct sequel titled Naruto Shippuden, takes place during his teens. Both anime series were animated by Period, produced by Aniplex and licensed in North America by Viz Media. The first anime series aired on TV Tokyo and ran for 220 episodes from October 2002 to February 2007. An English dub produced by Viz Media aired on Cartoon Network and YTV from September 2005 to December 2009. The second series, Shippuden, also aired on TV Tokyo and ran for 500 episodes, which is all the episodes, from February 2007 to March 2017. The English dub of Shippuden was broadcast on Disney XD in the United States from October 2009 to November 2011, airing the first 98 episodes before eventually switching over to Adult Swim's Toonami programming block in January 2014. Starting over from the first episode, after Disney XD removed the series from the podcast, Viz Media began streaming new English dubbed episodes on their streaming service Neon Alley in December 2012, starting at episode 99. The service aborted its run in March 2016 after 338 episodes due to its shutdown a month later. Besides, the anime television series Period also developed 11 animated films and 12 original video animations, also known as OVAs or OVHOs. Anyway, I remember my friends and I used to discuss it so much to the point that some people were calling me Naruto. This one time in class I was misbehaving, and on top of that I hadn't done any of the classwork or homework. I was a bad boy. Anyway, the teacher, while enraged, said something along the lines of, "Why don't you ever do your work?" As if it's a constant thing I do. He continues, your parents are spending so much money to have you in this school. You were always talking about your silly little cartoons, Naruto and all that. I'm sure if I asked you to talk about them, you could talk non-stop the whole day about them. And in my head, I was just like, you're not wrong. Also, remember when I said people used to call me Naruto? Yeah, this one time during sports day, I was chosen to run a relay race. I was chubby at the time, so you can imagine how much I hated it. While at the starting line, I told myself I wouldn't care what anybody else thinks and that I would run like Naruto. And I did, but what I did not expect was for my classmates and other people at the event to start chanting, Naruto! Naruto! Over and over, you know. And as I ran, I was loving every single moment of it, you know. We did win the race, even though I was fat. I had a high starting speed, which would slowly decrease. But since the race was short, it worked in my favor because the others were picking up speed while I was already in top gear, shifting down. Boom! Sorry for blowing you up there. It's one of my favorite things to do. Speaking of favorite things, I wanted to talk about two of my favorite moments from the show, which are the Naruto bridge fight with Orochimaru and Minato versus Obito. Those fights were very gas. I could list more, but the reason I don't is because I'm going back to rewatch the show, so once I'm done with that, I'll either update this video or make another video entirely. And you know, Naruto has some banger opening and closing songs, bro. Like throughout like my entire watch, I've enjoyed so many of their bangers. Some are hits, some are misses, but like it has more hits than misses. So my favorite opening is Lovers by 7-Ups, and my favorite closing song is You Can Do It by Domino Rock Cult. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I probably butchered that name so bad. But the fanbase seems to like Bluebird from what I can see. Don't get me wrong, it's a classic, but I just think this one is better in my opinion. Don't hold it against me, man. Everyone can have their own opinion of what they think is, you know, better, you know. Yeah. Naruto was one of the best shows I've ever watched. It was a breath of fresh air from the shows I'd regularly watch. You know, your regular shows, Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, those kind of shows, you know. And it'll always have a special place in my heart, including the games. But this last entry, I will group them. Those games are God of War, Ghost of Sparta, and Chains of Olympus. With these ones, I don't have any interesting stories, though I will say I did play a bit of them on Zach's PS3. I guess at the time I just was not interested in them, but now they've become one of my favorite games. I don't know, maybe one day I'll do a tier list of all the games I've played. Back to the wiki. Yeah. So, God of War Ghost of Sparta is an action-adventure hack-and-slash video game developed by Ready at Dawn and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. It was first released on the PlayStation Portable handheld console on November 2nd, 2010. The game is the 6th installment in the God of War series and the 4th chronologically. Loosely based on Greek mythology, Ghost of Sparta is set in ancient Greece with vengeance as its central motif. The player controls the protagonist Kratos, the god of war. Kratos is still haunted by the visions of his mortal past and decides to explore his origins. In Atlantis, he finds his mother Callisto, who claims that his brother Deimos is still alive. Kratos journeys to the domain of death to rescue his brother. After initial resentment from Deimos, the brothers team up to battle the god of death, Thanatos, Deimos' captor. For Chains of Olympus, it kind of says the same thing in the beginning, so I'll just skip to here. Kratos, a Spartan warrior who serves the Olympian gods. Kratos is guided by the goddess Athena, who instructs him to find the sun god Helios, as the dream god Morpheus has caused many of the gods to slumber in Helios' absence. With the power of the sun god, with the power of the sun and the aid of the Titan Atlas, Morpheus and the queen of the underworld, Persephone, intended to destroy the pillar of the world, and in turn Olympus. Like I said, I don't really have any interesting stories I could say about these two games, but I will say a favorite moment of mine from Chains of Olympus is like, okay, I forgot what was happening, but so with the game you cut from gameplay and then you walk up to a statue of Athena, and Kratos delivers one of the lines that have been stuck in my head forever. Like, they are the best lines I've ever heard. Athena, you lied to me. The gods lied to me. My brother lives. Athena, bro. You can tell I have not experienced much. Since thingy, most of the list, most of this list is like mostly just games. There aren't like any other shows, any other experiences I talked about. I like just mainly talked about Naruto, and then I talked about the show Naruto. Like, bro. I'll probably make a better this video sometime in the future. I don't know, but here are some honorable mentions though: God of War 2018, Need for Speed 2005, and What Remains of Edith Finch. Those games are absolute heat and gas. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. But anyways, thank you for watching, and be sure to close the door on your way out. Yeah, don't forget to visit my shack again.